Microsoft has had a tough time lately trying to break through that barrier for a lot of people. And I think that the showcase that they're going to do on Sunday is going to help along the lines of ways that we've never seen before, meaning that people are going to actually be able to, for the first time in many, many years, look at Xbox as like a viable place to play video games and a viable place that has exclusive content that you can't get anywhere else. And I think that's been the key factor that's been missing for a lot of people. Obviously, there's going to be a lot of other factors that kind of lead into them gaining some ground, but I think that this Sunday is going to take a big step. And we keep seeing these things. I know I wasn't going to do more stuff about leaks or whatever, but in my opinion, what we're hearing right now is absolutely above and beyond anything that anybody would have ever expected for this showcase, right? Like, it's just absolutely crazy to think that this is actually happening, if this were to happen anyway. But I will say, hey, caution to everybody, but these are extremely bold leaks, extremely incredible, fantastic leaks. So, take them with a grain of salt, because that's always the best way to kind of go about these things. Obviously, Microsoft is going to do what's best for themselves. You can't have too many announcements without having, release dates and stuff like that. But it does sound like, at the very least, we're going to be getting some incredible bits and pieces of news from, fans and things like that we've been requesting. So let's get into that with what's been here, what the word is, and what we've been hearing with these latest leaks. Phil Spencer, I think, really has a great show in store for all of us. First of all, there's the obvious ones, and I think the consensus is that the games will be there. So this leak in particular has, clearly we know the stuff is going to be there. Like Starfield has its own thing, Forza Motorsport has its own thing. Avowed is one apparently that we've seen some leaks on that. Halo is one that I think that a lot of us were probably thinking maybe wouldn't make an appearance there or whatever. Believe it or not, Halo has, I think, kind of turned into a pretty good game. I might jump back on it here sometime soon, but yeah, it's kind of one of those things that it's a pretty good game. So this is in this particular leak saying that Xbox is going to have that. Hellblade 2, a lot of people are even suspecting and saying that maybe Hellblade 2 launches this year. I don't know if it'll launch this year. I hope that it does, maybe towards the end of the year, but I think an early next year launch would be just as amazing. And according to this, it's definitely going to be there as well, which I think is really good news for everybody. The other one, again, Fable. This is one that Microsoft has teased themselves, and I think obviously it's a game that we've all been kind of looking forward to. I think, what the interesting thing is to me anyway, to be 100% honest, is that I notice a lot of people that are hyped for Fable or whatever, maybe disrespecting Fable, maybe didn't even play the original Fable games, which is kind of crazy to me because those games are so unique and so amazing. I know they never really lived up to what was promised, but they're really incredible games, and you can do things in those games that I haven't really seen people able to do in any other game since, right? Like, I don't know if that's necessarily the case, but it's like marry whoever you want, have kids, whatever, see hookers, get an STD, you know what I mean? Like, just like crazy stuff like that is sort of off the wall. But, again, it's just one of those things that honestly, I think people are right to be excited for it, but I think that we're also seeing maybe some faux excitement. But also in this one is a game called Project Cobalt, which is In Exile Entertainment's next game, and there were a lot of rumors that suggested the game will be more ambitious than anything they've ever created in the past. There's not a lot to go on right now, but it has been suggested that they're making a first-person action RPG with steampunk elements. At one time, it may have been internally targeting a 2023 release date. It seems almost impossible and impossibly unlikely that this would happen. The game is still shrouded in mystery, and you have to remember we also went through all the pandemics and all that kind of stuff with that situation. So yeah, it's like, for me personally, I think that we're going to see something from this, and now I've seen this pop up like multiple times. If it makes an appearance at the upcoming Xbox showcase, we expect it to be some kind of in-engine teaser or something, or they show a small section of vertical gameplay. Microsoft executives and developers working on the game have spoken glowingly about the game's progress in recent years. It's also just as likely that Project Cobalt could have a major presence there again, and I think that it makes an important kind of decision by Microsoft to showcase this game, because again, you have a game that probably nobody's expecting, and to be honest with you, In Exile is a team that I didn't really care too much about when Microsoft bought them. They really seem to be more of PC developers, and they do that like kind of weird Diablo camera angle, which I don't mind Diablo, but in general, like their games, their RPGs and stuff, I don't like that type of angle. So seeing that they have something coming in first person sounds like it would be kind of more right up my alley, and an exciting thing to say the least. The other leak is Project Midnight, which is Compulsion Games, which was acquired shortly before they released their last game, We Happy Few. And after releasing subsequent DLC for the game, the studio has been very quiet about what's coming next. But thanks to some leaks by Jez Gordon, we know the team is working on a game codenamed Midnight, and it's supposedly a third-person action game set in deep American South that has a strong Southern Gothic aesthetic. Compulsion has always been an interesting developer with a lot of talent and ambition, but has lacked the budget and scope before the Microsoft acquisition. However, whatever this Project Midnight ends up being, and we saw some leaked screenshots for it before, this will be their first full game under Microsoft, and it's very hopeful to see this, as it's been many years. We could at least see something from this game. Again, there's been a little bit of rumors about, believe it or not, Everwild. So I thought, I like Rare. I like what Rare does. I'm not even hiding it. I think Sea of Thieves is cool. I even liked when I had Kinect, man. I liked the Kinect sports games. I thought those were well done for what they were. I liked Viva Pinata 2. I thought Perfect Dark Zero was decent. I liked a lot of the games. Rare Replay was amazing. And Everwild, we had no idea what it is, but it was a game that was definitely announced too early, and then it suffered from different setbacks and things like that. And now it looks like, according to recent leaks, that the game is much more quote-unquote Viva Pinata than survival game. So a lot of people were thinking that it was going to be a survival game or something along those lines, and now, according to multiple leaks, this is more like Viva Pinata. That's not to say that it's going to be a game that will be free of shared world. I think that it probably will be shared world or something along those lines, but out of all of Xbox's first party lineup, it definitely strikes us as one of the top choices that has a chance to be special, because Rare has a lot of creativity with these things. So I'm looking forward to possibly seeing more from this. There's also rumors that State of Decay 3 and Gears of War is going to be there in some fashion, which again I think would be smart for Microsoft. Listen, Gears of War used to be like a huge thing back in the day. It can be that again if they get it right. And there's also supposedly going to be a surprise game there from Bethesda. What do you guys think about this, though? I'm very curious. Are you like swearing off all the leaks and stuff, or do you want to be surprised? Let me know. Rate, comment, subscribe, rack 'em up. Crap Gamer out.